Hi friends, this is Sagar Thakkar over here and welcome back to my channel. So, in today's session, I will be teaching you the miscellaneous shortcuts or other shortcuts we generally use in the Excel. So, let's begin today's session. So, let's start with the first one. The first shortcut is how to enter a date into an Excel. So, you simply press Control and semicolon. Control semicolon. So this is how you enter a date into an Excel. Now, how do you enter a time into an Excel? So you simply press Control and a colon. Now, how to use a colon? So if you wish to use a colon, you simply have to press Shift and semicolon. Now let's do it. Control, Shift and semicolon. This is how you enter the current date and time into an Excel. Now let's move on to the third one. The third one is how to insert a picture from the device. So if you wish to insert any picture that is into your desktop or on your laptop into an Excel, so you simply press Alt N P and D. You'll be simply navigated to this box, insert box. Herein, you can simply navigate to the desired folder or the file, and then you can simply select the photo image and simply press the insert button. By pressing the insert button, the image which was available on your folder will be now inserted into the Excel. Now let's move on to the next one, that is how to insert an object. Now I wish to insert a PDF file or an Excel file or a Word document into my Excel or this current worksheet. So how will I do it? It is very easy. You simply press Alt N J. This way, as you can see, a dialog box has been opened. From here, you can insert any file. Now, if you wish to create a new file, you can simply go into create new and select any of the desired thing. Now, if I wish to create a new PowerPoint, I will simply press PowerPoint, or else if I wish to insert any existing file from my desktop, I will simply click on create from file. I will navigate or browse in to the desired folder where the Excel file or the PDF is existing. I will click that file. Then, if I wish to create a link, so I will press on the create a link option. That is over here. Or else, alternatively, if I wish to copy paste, I will simply press as display as an icon. Friends, keep in mind, if you press link to the file, the link will be created over here, and if any changes are made to the original file, the changes will also be incorporated over here. Alternatively, if you press display as icon instead of link to the file, an icon will be displayed over here, and if any changes is made in the master file, that changes will not be incorporated the file which is inserted in the Excel, and then you simply press as OK. Now let's move on to the next one, that is how to fit a column width. Now say for example, I have written over here, that is hi everyone. As you can see over here, my text is merging into the next cell and it is not into the same cell which I want. So now how do I do it? I simply want the entire text in one cell which is not merged into the second cell. So I will simply press Alt, H, O and I. This is how the entire text will be fitted into a single cell. Now let's move on to the next one, that is the sixth one. Now as you can see, uh, with the help of the fifth formula, the column was automatically the width of the column was automatically done. Now, if I wish to do it manually, how do I do it? So I will simply press Alt, H, O, and W. This is how a dialog box will be opened, and I can see right now the size of the cell is 8.43. If I wish to change it to 10.05, I will simply press it over here. I simply write it over here, and then I will say okay. See, the cell of the size is automatically increased to 10.05. Friends, let's go to the next one. That is how to auto fit a row height. Say for example, there is a row which is in the height 22.50. Say I write over here that is hi everyone, and now I wish to reduce the height of the cell to the original one. As you can see, I'd increased the height of the cell at 22.50. Now I wish to reduce the height of the cell to the original one. So how will I do it? I will simply press Alt, H, O and A. See friends, this is how you can reduce the height of the cell to so that it automatically fits the text. Alternatively, if you wish to do the same thing in a manual way, you can simply press as Alt H O H. This is how you can get a row height box over here, and you can simply press the desired number which you want. Say for example, I want the row height now to be 20.25, and then I will press OK. So the row height which was earlier less than the desired one is now 20.25. Let's go to the next one. That is the ninth one. How to remove the grid lines. Now, what is a grid lines? Friends, the silver lines which you can see all over the worksheet that is present over here is called as a grid line. Now, if you wish to remove the grid lines so that your worksheet looks very neat and clean, how do you do it? You simply press Alt, W, V and G. See, this is how the whole grid lines have been removed from the entire worksheet. Now, if I wish to bring it back on, I'll simply again press Alt, W, V, G. Now the grid lines which I had removed earlier is came back into its original place. Let's go to the next one, that is how to apply a filter. Guys, usually we use filter option so that we can filter some of the words or some of the text which we want. Say for example, I wish to filter the entire table over here. So how will I do it? I will simply press Alt A and T. As you can see, there is a drop down option which is created in the row 1 against serial number, shortcut description and shortcut key. Now if I press any of the drop down option, say for example serial number, now as you can see the serial number contained the number of series, and when I clicked on the drop down option, the entire series of numbers has now been displayed over here. So if I wish to select a specified desired number, I will simply press on that desired number. Say for example, in our case, I want to select the item that is number 10, serial number 10. I'll simply select the select all button over here, because when I click on the select all, the entire range which was earlier selected will get deselected. Then I can simply navigate to the desired serial number and I can select over here, and I will press OK. See, as you can see, the entire the only serial number 10 has now been filtered, and I can only see the serial number 10 instead of 1 to the number of serials. Now let's go to the next one, that is 11th. How to wrap a text. So friends, usually what we find is there is a text which I had written over here, that is hi everyone, which was getting merged into two cells. Say for example it was getting merged into two cells. Now I don't wish to get it into merged into two cells. Instead I want it to be wrapped in a single cell with the adjusting the row height. What will I do it? I will simply press Alt, H and W. So as you can see, the cell, the text which was earlier merging into the next cell has now been wrapped up into a single cell, increasing the row height. Let's move on to the next one, that is 12th one. Now, how to freeze a top row. Say for example, friends, now I wish to freeze the top row. In our case is row number 1. So how will I freeze that? Uh, what are the utilities of freezing a top row? So friends, now as you can see, when I go to the down rows, so when I click on the down arrow and I move down, the first row, the row which was serial numbers, shortcut description and shortcut key, was not freezed, and it keeps on moving up and up. So I am losing the text which is written in the row number 1. So how to freeze that thing so that when I move down, when I page down, the text which is written in the row number 1 doesn't move. So what will I do it? I will simply navigate to any of the cell below the row number 1, that is in row number 2. Say for example, I am over here in cell B2, that is just below the row 1. Now I will simply press Alt W F and R. Now friends, as you can see, a thin line has been created over here, as you can see in row number 1, which will help me now. So whenever I go page down, the row 1 has now been freezed. So as you can see over here, the top row, that is the row number 1, has been freezed, and the second row which is now available, or that is available to see, is row number 13. Now when I again do page up, or when I move up, I can see this thing. Now friends, what happens is, so moving on to the next one. So now friend, what happens is, usually I sometimes want the column number A, or the column A, and the row number 1 to be freezed out, so that whenever I move to the right side or the extreme side of the worksheet, or to the extreme downside of the worksheet, the column A and the row 1 is freezed. So what will I do with? Again, you will simply go to the next cell in which the cell which you want to freeze out. Over here, I wish to freeze the row 1 and column A. So I'll simply go to the cell that is B2, which is beneath the row 1 and next to the column A. I'll simply press Alt W F F. So as you can see over here, the entire column A and row 1 has been freezed out. So now if I move extreme right to the worksheet, the serial number which, or the column A which I had freezed, is also moving with us. Similarly, if I go downwards, the row 1 which I had freezed is also moving with us and not staying at its original position. Now friends, if I wish to remove the or unfreeze the panes which I had earlier freezed up, I will again press Alt W F and F. By clicking that, the things which I had earlier freezed up now will be unfreezed again. And now as you can see, if I move to the right one, the serial number is not freezed, and now the cells will change up. That's it friends for today. Let's catch up in the next meeting. Thank you so much.